On the night of June 24, 1982, British Airways Flight 9 took off from Kuala Lumpur, heading for Perth. The Boeing 747, known as City of Edinburgh, carried 248 passengers, a typical overnight flight through calm skies. Captain Eric Moody, a seasoned pilot, chatted casually with his crew. Nothing about that night hinted at the catastrophe that was waiting in the darkness ahead. Far below Mount Galunggung, a volcano in western Java, had been rumbling for days. It wasn't erupting violently, but releasing vast clouds of volcanic ash, fine, invisible particles of pulverized rock floating high into jet cruising altitudes. Unlike storm clouds, these ash plumes didn't appear on radar, giving pilots no warning. At around 11 p.m., the 747 unknowingly entered one of these deadly clouds. Passengers first noticed something strange: blue electrical flashes dancing across the windshield and along the aircraft's wings. It looked mesmerizing, like St. Elmo's fire, but it wasn't normal. Then a faint smell of sulfur filled the cabin. Within minutes, smoke began seeping in. Cabin crew assured everyone it was just a minor electrical fault. They had no idea the engines were ingesting volcanic ash that was melting and fusing inside them. One by one, all 4 Rolls-Royce engines failed. The 747 transformed from a roaring machine to an eerie silence at 37,000 feet. Captain Moody's voice came over the intercom with chilling calm. "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. We have a small problem. All 4 engines have stopped. We are doing our utmost to get them going again. I trust you are not in too much distress." The world's safest aircraft had just become a 70-ton glider, descending through darkness toward the Java Sea. The crew ran emergency procedures, but nothing worked. The ash had choked the engines completely. Moody turned the nose toward land, planning a forced ditching if all else failed. Oxygen masks dropped as the plane lost altitude rapidly from 37,000 to 13,000 feet. Passengers prayed, wrote farewell notes, and braced for impact. But then something miraculous happened. As they descended below the ash cloud, the airflow cleared the melted debris from at least one engine. Suddenly, one roared back to life. Then another. Then another. Against all odds, 3 engines restarted. The crew climbed once more and guided the battered plane to Jakarta Airport for an emergency landing. When they touched down, the runway lights shone through a haze of volcanic dust. They had made it. Investigators later discovered the cause: volcanic ash from Mount Galunggung. The particles were so fine and hot that they melted inside jet turbines, creating a glassy coating that killed the engines. Once cooled at lower altitudes, the debris shattered, allowing restarts. No one had ever experienced such a phenomenon before. Aviation experts were stunned. Radar couldn't detect it, and existing weather systems offered no defense. Just weeks later, a Singapore Airlines Boeing 747 also lost all 4 engines in the same region for the same reason, flying through the same type of ash cloud. It, too, barely survived. Suddenly, the world realized this wasn't a one-time freak event. It was a new species of airborne hazard that could down any aircraft anywhere near a volcano. The 1982 Galunggung incidents transformed aviation safety. Volcanic ash advisory centers were established worldwide, monitoring eruptions 24/7 and issuing global warnings to pilots. Satellite imaging became a crucial tool for aviation meteorology. Today, if a volcano erupts, hundreds of flights may be rerouted instantly. A direct lesson written in molten ash by Flight 9's survival story. The passengers of City of Edinburgh survived, but they carried the memory forever of a night lit by blue fire, of engines dying midair, and of a captain whose calm voice held life together above oblivion. When asked how he remained so composed, Captain Moody simply said, "If you're going to die, you might as well do it with style." Mount Galunggung still rests in Indonesia, and the Earth's ring of fire continues to erupt. With air traffic at record highs and new polar routes crossing active volcanic belts, experts warn another ash-induced catastrophe isn't just possible, it's inevitable. The only question is when.